Aloha, I'm Jim. I am standing here with Todd Lola, aka Uncle Tilo of Uncle Tilo's Water Catchment Service. Did I get that right?
Not even close, but we're good.
So tell us, what is the name of your company, just so I don't
It's
look
Uncle
stupid.
Tilo's Clean Water. It's just what everybody needs.
Everybody needs clean water, and this is the man who will help you get it. Prior to opening Uncle Tilo's Clean Water, Uncle Tilo was a staff member at Kalani Oceanside Retreat. This is where I first got to know him.
Well, my first visit to Kalani was in November of 2008, and I just showed up thinking, oh, this would be a great place to check out for a week, and 4 months later, I found myself right back at Kalani and full time. Oh, I ended up staying for 4.5 years. Had a good little run. I know the jungle very well around Kalani, and after leaving, I have spent quite a bit of time down in Kalapana Seaview and staying right around the area and keeping up with all the neighbors and a lot of the Kalani Ohana. The one thing that really struck me, especially after coming out of Kalani, was nobody was cooking my meals for me anymore, and I had to think about some of these things, and one of them was the water, being on rainwater, and seeing how everybody in the community was just kind of doing a free-for-all. Some people thought about their water systems, other people just ignored them. So there was a big opportunity we saw there to help the community understand a little bit more about their water supply for their household use, what they were showering in, reminding a few people they were showering in mud puddles instead of something they would want to put in a glass and serve up to a friend. So the rainwater really has been our big focus. In the last 4 years, we started a business called Uncle Tilo's Clean Water, and we are helping a lot of people understand some of the basics. We do hold free classes every month, and we have a little booklet we put together as a guide to hand out to people when they start asking the questions. We want to help them out with a lot of information. So it's been a good place to be, especially with the eruption in 2018. We were already in business, and now the whole virus episode. A lot of people have really found that they had a need for having cleaner water at their house. So it's always added in. Everything that comes up for us seems to just add to the success of getting this information out to people. Oh, my role at Kalani, I was the naked electrician in the pool. For most of the time, I think I just kind of felt like a troubleshooter. Working on cars one day, working on electrical the next, and there was always something to jump into and contribute my skills at. And I still kind of feel like I'm doing the same thing today. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning, thinking about who am I going to go visit today and how can I help them out. So living at Kalani was really forced me to pay attention to community and pay attention to my interactions with others. So that was probably where my biggest challenge always came in, with people I was working with and people coming through. There was always that constant push to engage with everybody, and I think after a while just the vast number of people that came through in my 4.5 years is pretty surprising to think back, and thousands of volunteers and guests over that time. A lot of people to interact with. Well, I would say the thing that we try to do is enjoy life, take the opportunities when they come, and sometimes when the world is feeling all chaotic, it's best just to get back to the basics. What do you need? Food, water, shelter. Focus on something that you have some control over, and find your niche.
So what are we about to do, Uncle Tilo?
Well, today is the first of the month, so on the first of the month is when we always treat our catchment tank. So we got to keep our water supply safe and keep everybody healthy around here.
All right, so how do we do that, Uncle Tilo?
So this is our big 10,000 gallon storage tank. And we just got to get these tarps off and find out how much water we have. So definitely got to do some maintenance on this one. I can see that our filter's getting dirty. We got a nylon stocking on here that's been picking up some of the leaves coming in during the rain. So we're going to get rid of that one, because I got a new one. So we'll just put this back on, filter all those leaves out of there. And let's see, and then the other thing, when I look in these catchment tanks, I always want to see blue water. I'm tempted to swim in this one right now, but we'll hold off on that till later. But I always, I use the pool testers, just like being back at Kalani at the pool, checking out the water quality. So we're going to find out where I'm at for water today. Checking the pH and the alkalinity, because rainwater is always going to be acidic. So I want to know how acidic, or how much mineral I have in here, if I need to add more. So according to this, my pH is about 7. My minerals are about 40 parts per million. So I'm in the good range on both of those. So I don't have to do too much extra in here. I do cheat a little bit. When we add minerals into our tank, a lot of times the easiest way to get those in is to add baking soda. So of course you got to have the industrial size bag of baking soda to start with. On this tank I do add a pound or 2 every month. This would be a little bit too much for me. But I also have another option, and that is adding the minerals. There we do provide a little acid rain mineral pack that contains some calcium carbonate and magnesium oxide, and I float that around inside there in a pool float, and give that rainwater something to remineralize before I get too far along. I definitely don't want to run that acidic water through the house. Our houses all have lead in the plumbing system, so that's where a lot of the lead exposures come from. If you're on rainwater, you got to really pay attention to the pH of that water. If it gets too low, you're definitely going to have some metals in your water supply. The other thing I do is, we do live in the jungle here, and we have plenty of bugs and bacterias and a few parasites. So to keep them at bay, I use that sock filter to keep out a lot of the organics, but I also need to add a little bleach every month. It makes me feel good, makes Archer feel good, and it's just going to keep that bacteria down. So I know right now I got about 8,000 gallons of water. So for 8,000 gallons of water, I'm going to use about 2 cups of bleach. So I got 2 cups of bleach in there. That's a 1/4 cup per 1,000 gallons. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, and then bleach is heavier than water, so you always got to mix it. So this is my cordless water mixer. Got to have power tools. Makes the job go faster. But my water's looking nice and blue. I don't have too much material on the bottom, but I'm just going to add this in to make sure that we get all those bacteria knocked off. Oh, and there goes my little pool float with my mineral pack in it.
Do I see a beach ball in here?
Alright, I know when I said earlier I was going to go swimming in this, Jim thought, hey, what's a swimming pool without toys? So, of course, he sees my little beach ball down here, and my little beach ball is holding up my floating intake. So this little hose right here is where my water pump sucks the water out of the tank. So the floating intake gives me that ability to suck the clean water off the top of the tank and not have to suck it off the bottom where all the sediment goes. So we really do, there are a lot of techniques to make sure your water is a lot cleaner and suitable. We do drink our water, so that's why I want to make sure our tank is always staying nice and clean. But that was it for me today. That was my once a month. That's all I do, and changed the filter, added some bleach, made sure I got plenty of minerals in there, and I'm all good for another month. We do spend a lot of time presenting a lot of educational events for our community. The one that's been ongoing for over 4 years is our free education, first Saturday of every month. We do provide these classes at our storefront in Pahoa. We definitely have been having some bigger crowds, and our store isn't big enough to hold everybody. So right now, if you want to show up to one of our free education classes, first Saturday of every month, 10 to 12 in Pahoa, bring a lawn chair, find yourself a spot in the parking lot, and we'll do a little talk and provide you with some information to help you on your rainwater catchment systems.
Uncle Tilo, how can people contact you if they would like to know more?
Well, we have been in business for over 4 years, and Archer has done a tremendous job on setting up a website for us. And if you want to know more about what we do and what you can do to improve your system if you're on rainwater catchment, go to our website at tiloscleanwater.com. TILOS cleanwater.com.